Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda श्री चैतन्य चरितम श्री चैतन्य भागवत की जय। श्रील वृंदावन दास ठाकुर की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम 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 Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome to today's Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat reading. We're reading from Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, Antya Khanda, chapter 9, the glories of Sri Advaita Acharya. So, after we read about the prasadam offering pastime of Advaita Acharya invited Mahaprabhu for prasadam. That we did a recap again yesterday. And then in this way, Mahaprabhu was accepting invitations for a lunch prasadam from different devotees' homes, and he would go. And then he satisfied all their desires. So the devotees who had come from Navadvip, they were in Jagannath Puri for 4 months, Chaturmas. And while they were there, they would invite Mahaprabhu to take prasadam in their homes, like Srivas Thakur, Advaita Acharya, and others. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would go there, and in this way he would fulfill all their desires, and he would perform Sankirtan with all the devotees and keep them completely satisfied. So in this context, yesterday we read that yes, we also read that Damodar Pandit, Mahaprabhu's associate Damodar Pandit, who was in Puri with Mahaprabhu, he visited Navadvip to see Sachi Mata. And then he returned with all the devotees. When all the devotees came for Chaturmas, he also came. At that time, Mahaprabhu took him to aside and asked him, uh, did you see my mother? Is she still devoted to Lord Vishnu? Like that. So Damodar Pandit became very disturbed at this question. He became angry and he said, what are you saying, my lord? You are asking if your mother is devoted to Lord Vishnu? She is very devotional service personified. I say that whatever devotion you have, it is only because of your mother. And there's not one moment when there are no ecstatic manifestations visible on her body. Ecstatic manifestations like crying, fainting, uh, and trembling, laughing, uh, loudly shouting, singing, fainting, all these things. At every moment, not one moment passes by without these ecstatic manifestations on her body. on her lips constantly. There's not one moment when you don't hear the holy name coming out from her mouth. This is her state. She's pure devotional service personified. She's the mother of the universe. And then he kept reiterating that your devotion, whatever devotion you have, it is only coming from her. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard such glorification of Sachi Mata. Actually, this was what was in his heart. And by asking Damodar Pandit Prabhu, Damodar Pandit, this question, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually showed the whole world the glory of Sachi Mata. So when Damodar Pandit said that whatever devotion you have, it is only because of your mother, Mahaprabhu became ecstatic. And he said, you are right. Whatever you said is right. Whatever devotion I have is only because of my mother. Saying this, he embraced Damodar Pandit. And he said that no, that's not here. That is in another place. He says that now, today, now you can sell me anywhere. You have conquered me. You can sell me anywhere. Yeah, I think he says that to Damodar Pandit only. Let me check. 1 second. Um, he embraced Damodar. Yeah, yeah. He said that to Damodar. Lord Chaitanya said, Damodar, from this day you have the right to sell me. Yes. Mahaprabhu said that to Damodar Pandit. He was so pleased when he heard the glory of devotional service. He kept embracing Damodar Pandit again and again. And then he said, now you have the right to sell me wherever you like that. So Mahaprabhu, whenever he would ask a question, it would be only simply to glorify bhakti and to induce others to take to bhakti, to become serious in bhakti, like that. So another devotee, he asked, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked, uh, that how are all your kinsmen doing, right? How are all your family members, relatives doing? Uh, is everything auspicious with them? So now, uh, what is the meaning of auspiciousness? That's important, right? So, auspicious means if the person he has devotion to the Lord, that means he's auspicious. And if he does not have devotion to the Lord, and he may be even a king, he may be very successful in this world, but if he has no devotion, then his life is not auspicious. So again, the purpose of Mahaprabhu's asking this question, is everything auspicious with them, was to give a lesson there, right? Uh, he wanted to reveal that the true meaning of the word auspicious is devotional service, the presence of devotional service. So in this way he would ask devotees, and then when somebody would come, devotees would come to him to ask him, um, please come to my house for prasadam. So Mahaprabhu would say, I will only accept prasadam in that person's home who is the owner of 100,000. So these are all Brahmanas from Navadvip. So Brahmanas, what wealth they possess? 100,000 means 1 lakh. And back then the currency was coins, gold coins, silver coins, copper coins, like that. 100,000 coins. So they said, they became disappointed. I said, my Lord, 100,000 coins. None of us have. What to speak of, none of us here have 100,000 coins. So Mahaprabhu said, you don't understand. When I say the master of 100,000, that means Lakpati. Huh? I mean to say that person who chants 100,000 names of the Lord every day, daily. So 100,000 names means it comes to 64 rounds. Anyone, only that person who chants at least 64 rounds of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra every day, in that person's house I will accept. Otherwise I won't eat. Like that. Then they became very happy. Yes, we will chant, please come to our house. And Mahaprabhu accepted, and from that day onwards, they all started chanting 100,000. So in this way, Mahaprabhu is inducing everyone to increase their bhakti, like that. Then also we read yesterday, Mahaprabhu asked his sannyas guru, Keshav Bharati, please tell me which is superior, bhakti is superior or jnana, impersonal speculation is superior. So Keshav Bharati thought in his mind and he said, of the two, bhakti is superior. And Mahaprabhu said, why is bhakti superior? All the sannyasis, remember at the time, what was the prominent sannyas order? It was the Advaitins. Shankaracharya's sannyas orders were, or his school of sannyas was very popular, was very famous. You would see them everywhere. When you would see sannyasis, it would be, Advaitins. And their philosophy is impersonalism. So Mahaprabhu is saying that, you're saying bhakti is superior, uh, but I hear the sannyasis say that jnana is superior. Can you explain? So Keshav Bharati said, whoever says that jnana is superior to bhakti or impersonal speculation is superior to bhakti, he does not have proper knowledge, right? He thinks he's understanding the scriptures, but the way to understand scriptures is to follow in the footsteps of Mahajans. And then he listed out the Mahajans, right? Lord Brahma, then uh, Brahma, Shiva, Narada, Prahlada, Sukadev, Vyasa, Sanaka, the four Kumaras, Yudhishthir, Pandavas, Priyavrata, Prithu, Dhruva, Akrura, Uddhava, like this. These are the names of the great Mahajans. So then you look at their prayers when they approach the Supreme Lord, when they pray to the Supreme Lord, what do they ask for? You see in their prayers. Are they asking for impersonal liberation? Do they approach the Lord in their prayers? Do you ever see, please give me impersonal liberation? No, they're asking for bhakti. They're asking for bhakti. So, like this, Keshav Bharati said, and then we will see. Uh, let me share the screen with today's reading. See. So Keshav Bharati Maharaj is saying, why without stopping to think do the great souls turn from impersonal liberation and moment after moment beg for devotional service? If devotional service is not superior, why are these Mahajans, these great souls, turning away from liberation, impersonal liberation, and they're begging, moment after moment, they're begging for bhakti? If bhakti is not superior, why they're begging for bhakti? All the words of the Puranas prove this. What boon did the demigod Brahma beg from the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Right? So when Brahmaji got darshan of the Supreme Lord, what did he ask? Brahma said, Srimad Bhagavatam 10, 14, 30. Canto 10, chapter 14, text 30. तदस्तु मे नाथ स भूरि भागो भवेत्र वान्यत्र तु वातिरश्चाम् येनाहमेकोऽपि भवज्जनानां भूत्वा निषेवे तव पादपल्लवम्. My dear Lord, I pray that I may be so fortunate that in this life or in another life wherever I may take my birth, I may be counted as one of your devotees. He's not saying give me liberation. He's saying in this life or in another life. That means he's not asking for liberation. I can be taking birth in as any number of lives. Liberation means no more life, finished. Impersonal liberation, especially. Impersonal liberation means just go and merge into Brahman, or you even go and merge into the body of the Supreme Lord. That's merging, Sayujya Mukti. So, why he's saying in this life or in any other life? That means he's not asking for liberation. What is he asking? In any life, let me have devotional service to you. Whose prayer is this? Lord Brahma's prayer. My dear Lord, I pray that I may be so fortunate that in this life or in another life, wherever I may take my birth, I may be counted as one of your devotees. Let me be your devotee wherever I take birth. Wherever I may be, I pray that I may be engaged in your devotional service. That's our prayer. That should be our prayer. Because this is how great souls are praying. We know that this is the highest prayer. To ask for devotional service. Not that, oh, let me not have this problem, let me not have that problem, or let me not die. That's not how one should pray to the Supreme Lord. We should pray to Him, and that should be our desire. This is the highest desire. Let me be engaged in your devotional service. It does not matter in any life, in any place, in any circumstance. But let me be counted as one of your devotees. Let me be engaged in your devotional service. So this is Brahmaji praying. From this we understand that devotional service is very exalted. And Brahmaji saying, I may be so fortunate. That means one who is engaged in devotional service is very, very fortunate. It's not easy. It's not so cheap to get devotional service. Only someone who is very Bhuri Bhaga. Bhuri Bhaga means he has so many, so much fortune. Bhuri means he's filled with Bhaga. Bhaga means good fortune. Such a person gets an opportunity to be counted as the Lord's devotee, to be engaged in devotional service. May I be that fortunate that I may get bhakti. These words mean I may take birth as Brahma or I may take birth in any form of life. I will always be your servant and I will always serve you. In this way, the great souls turn from everything else and desire only devotional service. In the Vishnu Purana, it is said, this is from Vishnu Purana, Natayoni sahasreshu yeshu yeshu vrajamyaham teshu teshvachyuta bhaktir achyutastu sadatvayi. O Lord, I may take birth in thousands of wombs, one after another. O infallible Lord, I pray that in each birth I may have unflinching devotion to you. Again, same prayer, right? न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितां वा जगदीश कामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवतात् भक्तिरहैतुकी त्वयि. Same prayer. We saw Brahmaji's prayer in Bhagavatam. We saw in Vishnu Purana, exactly same prayer. It doesn't matter. I may take birth in thousands of wombs, one after another. It does not matter. Life after life, right? But in every birth, I want to have pure devotional service to you, unflinching devotion. Achyuta Bhakti, right? And then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Shikshashtakam also says, Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim. I don't want wealth. I don't want followers. I don't want family relatives, right? Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim. And not beautiful women to enjoy. Kavitam means followers, admirers. I don't want all this. Then what do you want? Mama janmani janmanishware. Let me take birth, life after life in any form, in any birth. According to my karma, let me take birth as many times. Manishware Bhavatad Bhaktir Ahaitukita. Let me be engaged in your unalloyed devotional service, pure devotional service. That's all. That's my desire. This is also from Shikshashtakam. Srimad Bhagavatam, Brahmaji's prayers, Vishnu Purana, and Mahaprabhu's Shikshashtakam. So far we saw the same thing. O Lord, I may take birth in thousands of wombs, one after another. O infallible Lord, I pray that in each birth I may have unflinching devotion to you. Next. Swakarma phala nirdishtam yam yam yonim vrajamyaham tasyam hrishikesha tvai bhaktir dridhastu me. O Supreme Lord, O Master of the senses, I pray that wherever I take birth, I will always have firm devotion to you. Again, one more point. Huh? Same thing. Wherever I may take birth, I may always have firm devotion to you. So this also must be from Vishnu Purana, because here it is said, uh, in the Vishnu Purana it is said, and then we have these two verses. So these two verses must be from Vishnu Purana. Then in Srimad Bhagavatam, Karma Ved, so this is Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 47, Text 67. Karma Vir Brahmya Mananam Yatra Kwapishwareච්ඡया Mangalacharitairdhanai Ratirnaha Krishna Ishware. Wherever I wander in the material universe under the influence of karma, by the will of the Lord, may our auspicious activities cause our attraction to Lord Krishna to increase. Yes, this is just like अतः पुंभिर्द्विजश्रेष्ठ वर्णाश्रम विभागशः स्वनुष्ठितस्य धर्मस्य संसिद्धिर्हरितोषणम्. Ataha, therefore, Kumbhir means human beings, Dvijashreshta, O Dvijashreshta, Ata Kumbhir Dvijashreshta, Varnashrama Vibhagashaha. So this is Sutta Goswami speaking to Shaunakadi rishis. So Shaunaka is the head. So Ata Kumbhir Dvijashreshta, Varnashrama Vibhagashaha, according to Varnashrama divisions. You have Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas. You have these Varnashram divisions. Atapumbir Dvidashreshta Varnashrama Vibhagashaha Swanushthitasya Dharmasya. Each person is carrying out his particular prescribed dharma or duty. You are carrying out your duty as a Grihastha, as a Brahmana, as a Kshatriya, as a Brahmachari, as a Sannyas. You are doing your particular duties. Swanushthitasya dharmasya samsiddhi. What is the perfection of your work? What is the perfection of what you're doing? Whether you're doing the duty of a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Brahmachari or Sannyasi, what is the perfection of your work? Samsiddhir haritoshanam. The perfection is when the Lord is pleased with your, when the Lord is pleased by that work. That is the perfection of your work. And in other words, it is said, Vasudeva Katharuchi. When you do your duties nicely, like this, duties prescribed for you in the Vedas, when you carry out those duties nicely, what is the natural consequence? You get Vasudeva Katharuchi. You'll develop a taste to hear Krishna Katha. So if you don't get that taste to hear Krishna Katha, then whatever activities you're doing, they are Shrama eva hi kevalam. Right? Vishvaksena Katha suyaha notpadayed yadi ratim Shrama eva hi kevalam. Right? By doing this work, if that work is not producing rati for Vishvaksena Katha, Vishwaksena means the Supreme Lord. So if you don't, by your work, if you're not developing a taste to hear about the Supreme Lord, then such work that you're doing is simply useless waste of time. Shrama eva hi kevalam, simply labor for nothing. It's futile. Like that it is said. So the context here is, so my auspicious activities, right? So this is from Srimad Bhagavatam. This verse is saying that according to my karma, I may be taking birth in the universe in various bodies. That's not a problem. Which body I take birth is not a problem. But whatever work I have done, auspicious work, what is auspicious work? Giving charity, performing austerities, penance, right? Doing some pious work, religious activities, so on and so forth. So all my auspicious work, may my auspicious work increase my attraction to Lord Krishna. Same thing. Vasudeva Katharuchi. Let my all my auspicious work may increase my attraction. So my goal is I want to be attracted to Krishna, like that. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Wherever I wander in the material universe under the influence of karma by the will of the Lord, may our auspicious activities cause our attraction to Lord Krishna to increase. In this way, all scriptures declare that devotional service is the best spiritual path, the path of the great souls. Who is speaking? Keshav Bharati is speaking to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked, of the two, which is better, bhakti ki jnana? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Keshav Bharati said, bhakti is better. Mahaprabhu said, why bhakti is better? So he's giving all these, um, substantiating his statement by quoting from scriptures how bhakti is superior. Great personalities are always begging for bhakti. You never see that they are begging for impersonal liberation or speculation. No. In this way, all scriptures declare that devotional service is the best spiritual path, the path of the great souls. In Mahabharat Vanaparva, it is said, Tarko apratishtaha shutayo vibhinnaha nasa vrishir matam na bhinnam dharmasya tattvam vihitam guhayam mahajano yena gatasya pantha. Very famous Mahabharat statement. Dry arguments are inconclusive. Tarka means argument, debate. Apratishta. Pratishta means it's glorious, right? Pratishta, like fame. It's very famous. Apratishta means it's infamous. That means Tarka apratishta means by debate, by argument, you cannot come to any conclusion. You don't see, it's not famous that by argument people have come to a conclusion. No, you never see that. Tarka apratishta, right? Dry arguments are inconclusive. If you want to know something in truth, you cannot find out the conclusion simply by argument. It's not possible. Shrutayo vibhinna. Why is it? Because, okay, you can say argument, first of all, if you try argument, that means it's not based on Shastra. Simply by logic, you're trying to argue with each other. This is not possible. Tarka means logic only. By logic, you're arguing. That conversation, that discussion will never come to any conclusion, because you will make one point and the other person will refuse yours. You will see debates. We used to have debates in school, high school. We used to have competitions, debates. They will never agree. They divide two groups and they say they'll give a topic and they'll say now start debating, and they will debate. You will never see that finally one party says, okay, I admit defeat. No, there is some judge sitting and they'll give them a time period for 1 hour. Okay, you go on debating, and after 1 hour, finished. Now the judge will decide, based on my observation, I think this party has won. That's it. But if you see the arguments, they will never ever say, okay, yes, you're right, I agree to your point. They will come up with some point. No, why this, why that, why this, why that. It goes on eternally. It will never stop. Debate will never stop. You cannot come to a conclusion about a fact, about anything, that because each party, so they'll give one statement and they say, you make points supporting this statement, and the other person, you make points opposing this point. The person who's opposing will never admit, yes, this statement is correct. Nor will the person supporting ever admit that, no, this statement is wrong. This statement is not. They will not admit. Until the bell rings also, they'll keep on debating, and even because that argument was given to them after the debate is over also, now they'll just be debating like that only. So the audience will get any conclusion by that debate? No, each person will form his or her own opinion. They'll take sides. One person will say, oh, that person is from my group, so I will support this person. So whatever arguments they say, I will support, and I'll say. And then that debate is going on the stage, and meanwhile here from the audience, they take sides and they start debating. But who will decide what is the conclusion? You cannot come to any conclusion by tarka. What to speak of the truths about this material creation and about the Supreme Lord. Can you come to a conclusion by Tarka? No way. Coming to conclusion by Tarka. This is also said in Shastra. This is not, my opinion. This is already said in Shastra. In Bhagavad Gita, Srila Vyasdev has said, Tarko apratishtaha. By Tarka, you cannot come to any conclusion. Dry arguments are inconclusive. So that's one point. So, can you find out the truth by argument? No. Next. Okay, then we'll refer to the scriptures. I want to find the conclusion through scriptures. But it says, Shrutayaha vibhinnaha. Shruti means the Vedic scriptures. Shruti, they are vibhinnaha. There are many varieties and they are vast. Which person is able to go through all the Vedic statements? And there are, in one place it will be said like this, and in another place it is said something else. How to come to a conclusion? Vyasdev, after going through all the Vedas, he gives us the Vedanta Sutras. That's the essence of the Vedas, the summary of the Vedas. But if somebody were to go through all the Vedas and find out one particular point, is it possible? Shrutayo vibhinnaha. In Shrutis are of, they are vast. A great personality whose opinion does not differ. Okay, now this is still about Tarka. Dry arguments are inconclusive. A great personality whose opinion does not differ from others is not considered a great sage. Yes. So that means Muni. Muni means a thinker, right? How do you, just like it is similar to our PhDs nowadays. Nowadays means I haven't been in touch now, but back when I used to study, I used to think, I used to sit in, these PhD classrooms from different departments. They would come and they would have, basically the whole thing is, it's about refuting and it's about debating, right? You have to come up with something different than what someone else has already said. That's what it is about. It's not about, okay, you have come out with this point, this is wonderful. You'll never see that. Always you see in where the PhDs come together, and then they get a topic, and they come up with, they always have to prove that the other person's point is less and my point is better. That's the whole idea of thesis and dissertation also. Someone has already done some work, you have to prove that your work is better than theirs and how their work has some flaws. So that's what is said here also. Muni means a thinker. He is not accepted as a Muni unless he proves himself to be different than others. He has to come up with his unique idea. Same point with PhDs also, or masters also. You have to come with your thesis or your dissertation. It cannot be something which someone else has already done and you're doing the same thing, agreeing with that person. No, you have to come up with your unique research, your own thing that you have come up with. So you have to differ from others. The point is, Muni means you have to differ from others. Dry arguments are inconclusive. A great personality whose opinion does not differ from others is not considered a great sage. Then Shrutis. By studying, can you come to conclusion? Simply by studying the Vedas, which are variegated, one cannot come to the right path by which religious principles are understood. No, you won't be able to come to it. Will be so much. Shrutis are so many, you won't be able to come to a conclusion. One Purana is saying Lord Shiva is supreme, another Purana is saying Lord Vishnu is supreme, another Purana is saying Devi is to be worshipped, like that. And then you're like, who is the supreme? How do I come to a conclusion? How will you know? The solid truth of religious principles is hidden in the heart of an unadulterated, self-realized person. Dharmasya tattvam, okay, nasa rishiryasya matam na bhinnam. So this is that, unless one differs from others, he is not accepted as a rishi. Dharmasya tattvam, the fact, the truth about dharma, nihitam guhayam, it is very, very confidential. Mahajana, where is it hidden? Mahajanas. Mahajano yena gatasya pantha. You have to follow the path that has been followed. You have to follow in the footsteps of Mahajans. Whatever path they have taken, if you follow, then that is revealed to you. The solid truth of religious principles is hidden in the heart of an unadulterated, self-realized person. Consequently, as the Shastras confirm, one should accept whatever progressive path uh, the Mahajans advocate. Hearing from Keshav Bharati's mouth the words, devotional service is the best, with joy and love, Lord Chaitanya roared, Hari! He was very happy. Mahaprabhu becomes very pleased when someone glorifies bhakti. Lord Chaitanya said, now I will stay a few days more on the earth. I tell you the truth. If you had said impersonal speculation is the best, I would have drowned myself in the ocean. Right? Now they're in Puri. So in Puri there is the ocean, the sea. Then Lord Chaitanya happily embraced his Guru's feet. With a happy heart, the Guru offered obeisances to Lord Chaitanya. The Guru is offering obeisances to his disciple because he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Lord Chaitanya embraced his Guru's feet and the Guru offered obeisances to Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya said, anyone whose mouth does not talk about devotion to the Lord wears a sikha and a sacred thread in vain. Right? Brahmanas means they wear sikha and they have tilak and they have sikha and they have a Brahman thread. But if they don't talk about bhakti, but still they pass on as Brahmanas, then their sikha, their being a Brahmana is of no use. It's in vain. If one has a sikha and a sacred thread, but he doesn't talk about bhakti, such a person's sikha and Brahman thread are useless. Lord Chaitanya asked questions only about devotional service and nothing else. Lord Chaitanya was the personified nectar of devotional service. His personified nectar of devotional service. So, if you read about the life of Mahaprabhu, then you're reading the nectar of devotional service, nectar of devotion. Night and day, the devotees knew nothing but devotional service. They always danced and loudly chanted in Kirtan. Yeah, this chapter is not ending yet. This is the glories of Advaita Acharya. 3 more pages, at least 4, 5. Oh, it's a big chapter. You'll have to read it several weeks. And then this is the last chapter of Chaitanya Bhagavat, Sri Pundarik Vidyanidhi Leela Varnana. But before that, we have quite a bit of glories of Advaita Acharya to be read, which is wonderful. We will read that in the coming weekends. Yeah. So this was the discussion between Keshav Bharati and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So the rest we will continue next Saturday. Thank you so much for joining. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.